The following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning. I'm Andy Brownell, News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. It's time for another of our Rochester Real Estate programs with the Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. Robin on assignment, and what that means is it's another chance for us to meet a member of her team. And with us this morning is go ahead.
I would say my name's Lynette Payne.
There you go. You did it for you.
I wasn't sure.
That's all right, Lynette. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming in this morning. Robin has sent over quite a few members of the team to have a chat, so folks and our radio audience can have an opportunity to get to know them a little bit better, because they, I guess, know quite a bit about Robin now.
Yes, they do.
Doing the program for so long. Maybe to start out with a little bit about yourself. Did you grow up around here?
Just north of here, about 45 minutes or so.
Okay.
I grew up in Goodhue, rural Goodhue. Yeah, I grew up on a dairy farm there.
Wrestlers in your family?
Not in my family, no, but there are definitely a lot there. That's for sure. Basketball, volleyball players mostly in my family. But,
well, Goodhue's known for basketball for sure.
Yep. So that was definitely a fun time in my life. That was a great experience. Once I graduated from there, I went to school. I actually got my dental assisting degree and worked for an orthodontist for almost 17 years, which was also a great experience. I have some wonderful friends there, and I worked for John Lawson here in town. So Shout out to Lawson Orthodontics. Hey,
fantastic,
guys.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was a great experience as well. I just was at a point in my life where I felt I needed a change, and have a couple friends in the real estate business, so I kind of picked their brains and decided that this might be something that would work well for our family. So decided to get my license, and here I am.
How long have you been with the Gwaltney Group?
A fairly short amount of time. I'm in my first year. So, Yep. So just getting started, and it's been a great experience. Love the team. There's so much support there that it's just been a wonderful place to be, a wonderful experience, and love everybody that I've met there.
Well, you must have attracted Robin's attention somehow to bring you over.
Yes. I have a good friend on the team who, well, and I knew Robin sort of previously through my other employment.
Okay.
So I had met her before, but I also have a friend on the team, and we all got together and had lunch, and it was just kind of, my decision had kind of been made at that point. So it was a great experience. Glad I'm on the team. It's been wonderful.
That's quite a shift in gears.
It is.
From a dental assistant and orthodontics work.
Yes, it's I would say the biggest change is obviously my schedule. I kind of get to set my own hours versus before I had patients I had to see right away, and I had worked more on that schedule. So it's been nice for my family to be able to have a little more flexibility in my day, to be able to take kids to doctor's appointments or to school or daycare or wherever they need to go and what they need. So
I've heard that from others who do what you're doing in the real estate business, that flexibility. You might be working weekends, but it frees up other parts of the week.
Correct. Yep. I kind of did the math in my head, and I actually, if I do work nights or weekends, I'm actually still getting more time with them than I was previously. So it's been wonderful.
Do you still live up Goodhue area, or do you come down here?
No, I live in Rochester.
Okay.
Yep. We moved here about 5 years ago. Actually living here, but I've been in Rochester working since 2002. So,
you grew up nearby too.
Yeah, and I went to college here too, so that was 2 years previous to that. So yeah, I've been here.
You know the community pretty well at this point, then. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
So, did you say you grew up on a farm?
I did. Yes, dairy farm. Not a big one. There's lots of big ones over in Goodhue, but just pretty small. We usually had about 40 head that we'd milk.
But that's still 40 head that have to be milked every single day.
Yes. Yes. It was definitely, I feel like that can really develop a work ethic, because it is tough work, but it's great work at the same time. So,
are your family still in the farming business?
They're still on the farm. They're out of the milking business, but yes, they're still on the farm. Yeah,
which is fantastic.
It is. It's fun to take my kids out there and let them experience that
hats
too.
Hats off to your parents for
doing
that kind of work.
Yes.
It's,
yes.
I've always looked at dairy farmers. I admire them, but I think they're all crazy.
But they're also their own boss, which some people really like.
I've heard that as well.
Yep.
Well, it's kind of the same with real estate, I imagine, as well.
In a sense, yep.
The pace you want to be working at is kind of self-determined.
Yes, yep. It's great. I get to, like you said, I kind of get to set my own pace and do what I need to do. And, I hope to be busy enough to sustain things, but not so busy enough that I miss out on my kids growing up. And so far, finding that balance some days can be tough, but so far it's been great. Yep.
Is there any aspects or sections of the real estate business that are most attractive to you?
Yes. And this actually kind of ties in with my previous employment as well, as I love to help people. And in my previous job, I got to help people, create a beautiful smile, and which was awesome. We had so many happy customers. And with this job, I get to help people find a home or sell a home to find a new home. And it's just been a great experience to watch the sparkle in someone's eyes on closing day that, wow, I'm a homeowner, or I have this new home. I actually had tears in one of my clients' eyes that day, and it was just a great experience. And that's kind of what it's all about for me.
Keep you going that way.
Yeah. Yep.
Is there any price range of house, or is it a first-time home buyer maybe, or
price range I don't think matters. It's just great to connect with the people. Whether they're a first-time home buyer or not. Some people are, maybe second-time home buyers because they, are in their starter home and they've grown out of it and now they need something else. And so it's just really fun to experience all the different types of people you meet out there.
And in this town, I imagine it is all different types. This is a very diverse community that way.
Yes, it is. So yeah, so far it's been just a great experience. I'm so glad.
So with the Gwaltney Group themselves, I know, Robin's pretty special, and Scott.
Yes. Yes, very welcoming.
Well, it's been a universal theme from all the team members I've talked to that it's like family.
It is. I'm in the office almost every day, and it's great getting to know everybody and hearing their stories. And I very quickly feel like I'm a part of this group and not just the outsider that's just come in kind of thing. So it's been wonderful. Kudos to everybody on the team to have open arms for everybody coming in. So thanks, guys.
And I'm going to point you to the administrative staff, because that's who I get to deal with a little bit, trying to schedule the programs and the folks who are coming in, and they seem like they're just exceptional people.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And we depend a lot on them. They do a lot of work for the team, and it's just, again, I can't talk enough about this team, but the admin staff is just almost like the backbone to our team. They do a lot for us and keep things running and make sure that everybody's on point. So they're just wonderful. They're wonderful.
I look at the transaction itself, and I can imagine how gratifying it must be to get to that point where the smiles appear on people's faces.
Yeah.
But I would hate to have to deal with all the paperwork that leads up to that.
There is, but I guess to me, there's a point and a purpose to each page. So it makes sense why it's all in there. And that's kind of our job, and the admin's team's job is to make sure that all of that's taken care of for our clients and they don't have to worry about it. I mean, we explain everything so they understand, but that shouldn't be part of the headache of being a homeowner. Let us take care of that.
The full service part of the Gwaltney Group experience.
Absolutely. Yep.
We're talking with Lynette Payne from Gwaltney Group-RE Results, and we'll get to know Lynette a little bit better. We'll continue our discussions on our Rochester real estate program. Back in just a moment on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. I'm Andy Brownell, News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. I'm with Lynette Payne from Gwaltney Group-RE Results.
Hello.
Robin took another week off on us. Enjoying the holidays, I'm sure.
Yes.
We're getting to know Lynette, and she has 2 young kids, and I don't have kids that young anymore. I have 2 kids, and I will always have kids, but looking back on that part of my life, and my needs and interests were a heck of a lot different than they are now, and I've got to believe that gives you a great tool for you when you're dealing with people kind of in the same boat as you are right now.
Yes, absolutely. If, I'm trying to help a family that has young kids, I mean, we all try and anticipate those needs for our children. But that can definitely relay, into my work as well. If I can see somebody has young children that might be the same age as mine or close, I can be like, okay, we're going to need some bedrooms. Okay, we're going to need some play space, so I can definitely, have that extra eye, walking through homes to say, hey, check out this little nook. This could be a great reading nook. Or, check this out over here. This would be a great place for, boots and snow pants. Or, it's just, it's wonderful just to help people, open their eyes a little bit. If they are first-time homeowners, or buyers, and they're looking at something for the first time, it's definitely helpful to, point things out to them.
Especially the first-time home buyer, because you don't get it until you actually have been in a home and then realize, I should have done this.
I should have thought about this. I should have looked more at that, yes.
And to have that extra person there, that's a big deal.
Yes.
I bet with the Gwaltney Group, too, you can tap into so many other different perspectives other than your own for the client.
Yes, and that is another wonderful part of our team is we do have, a range of people with, some with young kids and some with kids who are up and grown and, they've been in this business for quite a while. And so, if, there's, ever a need like, hey, if somebody's looking for this and, what are your thoughts on that? And, it's great to bounce ideas off everybody there. So, it's wonderful.
The other part with the client with the kids I was thinking about is one thing that wouldn't even occur to me now, but back then and where you're at now is location as far as kids and proximity to, a good park or a school.
Yes, and that is some of the things that we've noticed too with those with young children is if they're, really interested in one school or not, we can say, I need to be in this school district. Then, okay, we'll take a look at the MLS and we can, make sure that we stay in that district for you. And we'll let you know what's available or parks as well. Like we really like this park. Okay, we'll make sure we try and find something in that area. So it's really great, the tools that we have to be able to help, our clients' needs.
How does that go as far as a person coming to you? You get the call.
Okay.
We're going to give your phone number later on, and they heard you talking today, and they thought, I'd like to work with Lynette.
Yeah.
Take us through a day with you and a new client and the process that we might follow.
Okay. Well, first thing I would do is just get the most information that I can about the client. What is their situation? What are they looking for? Obviously, their budget can play a part in this as well. Is there a certain area of town they want to be in, or what do they want to be close to? And once we can get more of that information, then we can, really start looking for them. And timeline is a big deal too. When do you need to move? Do you need to sell to move? So there's just lots of questions that we like to talk through with our clients and get as much information as we can so we can serve them the best.
How long does that usually take, that conversation?
Oh, it depends on the person.
I imagine it does.
Some people can be real chatty, and I can be on the phone for quite a while, and some people are just really quick and, straight to the point. So, I've been on the phone for just a few minutes to, up to a half hour or more with people. So it just kind of depends.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get that background info, and then what do you do at that point?
Well, we talked about paperwork earlier. There are some paperwork things that we, would need to go through. So, we would go through what we call a buyer rep contract, where basically you're signing up to exclusively work with us.
Yep.
So
pretty standard fare.
Pretty standard. Yep. So we would go through that, which we can do on paper or we can do electronically too. There's electronic signatures that we can use. Which a lot of people tend to really like that. It's nice.
Well, it is a nice tool.
It is. It is really nice. And then once we get that underway, then, if people are looking at, buying versus selling, they do typically, most people need to talk with a lender because they're going to have to get a loan. So that would kind of be the next steps for them too, is, talk with your lender, figure out what your budget is if you don't know.
Is that something you can help with too, steering them towards a lender?
Yes, we definitely can do that. There's, a few that we can suggest to people that are here in town. So, yep, we can certainly, we have lots of information and lots of contacts about probably any part of this process. So if people need help, they can certainly come to us.
Because if I was a first-time buyer, that would be the one thing that would intimidate me, going to that banker or going to that mortgage lender and getting the ball rolling. Yeah, and it's just a quick, simple phone call. Just say, hey, this is what's going on. What do I need to do? And they'll easily help you. So that would kind of be the next step, kind of figure out what your budget is, and then we can go from there and start looking. And is it a matter of you presenting a list, or is it hey, get out here right now? This is sometimes, depending on the time of year, things can, happen really quickly. I would say a lot of times our clients are saying, hey, these are the houses I found. But we can also set them up, in what we call a portal, where they can look, for the homes that have come on the market that day too. So they can see things, we can see things. So if we don't see it right away, a lot of times they're like, hey, I saw this house came on today. Can we go look at it? Yep, absolutely. So it kind of goes both ways. We look, they look, we kind of collaborate and work together as a team to find the right house for them. The right house. The right house. And that's, yep. I imagine you have situations where the first one they see is, this looks wonderful, this is it. Yes. Or does it usually take a lot more than that? Again, it depends on the people. Sometimes they're like, I saw this one online, it looks perfect, I'd love to go see it. And yep, it ended up being the perfect one, so let's ride on it. Perfect. And then there's other people that are just, I'm not quite sure. Like, I think I want this, and then they get in the house and they're like, yeah, I really don't want that. So let's go look at something else. And it's totally fine either way. I suppose my fear would always be that, okay, this is wonderful. I saw it. It meets all my needs, but oh goodness, I know as soon as I commit to this. But at some point, you got to pull the trigger too. Yeah, yes, and that can be a scary thing for people sometimes. They're like, "Wow, this is a really big commitment." It is a big commitment. It is. Yep. But if they seriously want a home, then we just try and assure them that this is the process. This is what we need to do, and we're going to look at everything in this home, and if it fits everything that you need, then let's go for it. I imagine that's a big part of your job then, is to kind of be that pillar, that person that can offer the reassurance that you're not making a mistake here, that you've checked all the boxes, right, and we've gone through everything that we can go through. Right, like the bones of this one looks really great, or I would maybe take a look at this. This would be something to consider. It might be, something you would need to fix down the road or in a few years, so you can try and give them all those things to look at. But it's also good too, once they've had an accepted offer on a house, they, like to have an inspector come through there too, if they were to choose, and they can really pinpoint some more things than we typically can too. I bet this has been just huge learning experience for you to switch from working in the dental business to selling homes and buying homes for folks. Absolutely. It's been a huge change, but a great one and a good one. And it's something that I've always had an interest in. So it's not something that's completely shocked my system, which has been great. Okay. Yes. So you mentioned you always kind of had an interest in it? Well, yeah, I've owned a home since I was 21 years old. I bought my first house. That's a little, yep. A little unusual. I certainly did. Yep. So I've kind of always just wanted my own place and was always interested in it. And, have I learned how to fix things along the way? Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's absolutely. And so it's been nice to have, family members, and my husband for sure has really, shown me a lot of ways to, fix homes. And oh, this is a leaky faucet. Yes, this is how we fix this. And so, it's no big deal. Yeah, no, it's not. Well, it's not, and it's great. You mentioned you're relatively new to the Gwaltney Group, but your life experiences from the farm all the way through this must provide you with a wealth of resources to draw on. Absolutely. I mean, going from,
the farm and, riding tractors and, seeing how to, fix parts and, all that stuff. That's been great, up until now. Like I said, being a homeowner since I was 21, it's just been a great experience. And I've always enjoyed seeing that, before and after pictures, so to speak, from, where things were to where they are.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been enjoyable for me.
But I imagine you've learned a lot of new acronyms and different lexicon from the dental business.
Yeah, there's definitely language in each profession. Yes, absolutely.
We're talking with Lynette Payne from Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results. I'm Andy Brownell, News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. We'll be back in just a moment.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. I'm Andy Brownell with Lynette Payne from Gwaltney Group-RE/MAX Results on News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Getting to know Lynette, another member of the Gwaltney team. And I know Robin is just huge into community involvement. And I laugh. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. It seems as if Robin is at some sort of fundraiser or organizing some sort of event or doing something to make the community a better place. And I know she finds that hugely important.
Yes.
Is there any? I always ask this. Are any causes that you especially are passionate about?
And I would say more recently in the last couple of years, but yes, I'm a huge advocate for blood donations. There was one summer where a good friend of mine's daughter had a baby and needed blood transfusions.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. And same it was almost within a couple months of each other. My cousin had a baby as well, and almost a similar situation where she needed blood transfusions as well. And they're both doing okay and well today. But
I know, but scary times.
It is very scary, but so thankful that there was blood available for them. And kind of since then, I've always, said, gosh, I should go do this. And that was kind of my eye-opener. And since then, whenever I can go, I go and I donate. Typically, lately, it's been plasma, but whatever they need at that point, I'll go in and donate and save a life. So.
And it's amazing to me how often they run into shortages.
Yes.
And the inventory can get remarkably low when you consider the kind of operation that goes on here in Rochester, the amount of blood that's needed to help all these folks who are here.
Yes.
And the kind of unforeseen things that do happen during some of these procedures.
Yes. And did I say plasma earlier? I think I meant platelets as
platelets.
Well. Platelets.
It's all the same to me.
Yeah. Well, there might be, somebody downtown that might want to correct me on that.
There sure would be. What are the phlebotomists, I believe is what you would call them.
Yes. So, but they are so great down there. They treat you like royalty down there when you go to donate too. So, if you're able to, definitely go down and give if you can.
Fantastic.
Yep.
A blood donor.
Yes.
You just made a lot of people happy down there in the blood removal room. I don't know, donation center. I don't know. I actually don't know the exact technical term for
donations.
that. But
Yep.
Yeah. And Lynette, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, tap into your enthusiasm and your expertise.
Sure.
And, especially if you have young kids, you want somebody who has the same eyes as you have.
Yeah. Yep.
For going out and looking at homes and the things that are important for a young and growing family. How does somebody get a hold of you?
Well, they can certainly call me or text me, 507-358-5739, or they can send me an email, Lynette@GwaltneyGroup.com.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah.
I suppose if I Google Gwaltney Group, I can find you that way as well.
You'll find me. Yep, I have a bio on our page there too.
Fantastic.
So if you want to, you'll kind of read a little bit about the same things I talked about today, but yes, you'll find me on there too.
All right. Well, fantastic meeting you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Andy.
Well, you're welcome. Thanks. I hope we can do this again sometime.
Okay.
All right. I'm Andy Brownell. That's Lynette Payne from the Gwaltney Group. I'm sure Robin will be with us next week. And until then, Andy Brownell, News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.